Mass Collector, subscribe and like this video now.
What's good, YouTube? Nate with Mass Collector here. Got another mail day. This is probably about 3 or 4 days worth of mail this week so far. Starting to pile up so I wanted to do a video of it before I start putting them away in my boxes and getting them organized. Got some really cool stuff, some things that I've definitely had before, but some new players and some new cards and things, different variations of cards and things like that. So first up, I bought a lot of RJ Barrett NBA Hoops rookie cards. I got 7 of them for like, I think about $19. Won the auction for like $15.50 or something, and it was like $4 for shipping or close to it. Condition was decent. I think 6 of them should be, 9s, I'm guessing, maybe better. Most of it's due to just a little corner here. It's got little white spot that's kind of showing on the corner there, but other than that, they look pretty good. They look really nicely centered and everything. It's just that little corner on that blue where you can see this little white spot. But I'm a fan of this guy. I think he's definitely got the talent, and he's definitely in the right market. Once he has a really good year, hopefully next year when they play a full season and in the playoffs, I think he's going to do really well, because he could be the face of the Knicks here for the next 5-6 years for sure. This one here I think is going to get an 8 just because it's got a white spot right there as well. So whenever I think it's going to be an 8 or lower, I throw them in a top loader. If I think they're going to be a 9 or a 10, if it's a 9, I put them in the card saver backwards, and if it's 10, I put them in the card saver facing forward. So that way I kind of have an idea of what grade I think they're going to be. So I think I did pretty well here. Shit, paying $3-4 a card's not bad. Here's the stack of Rodmans I have been buying. I ordered up some Beam teams. This was the first one that came in. The grade's not that great on it, but I think I paid $15 for these when I ordered them. I didn't buy anything over $20, but I think I ordered like 5 or 6 of them. This one here is a little beat up around the edges, but it's not too bad. But I do have a feeling that these Rodman cards are gonna spike as we get through the summer here and into next year. I think they're working on a documentary of him. If anybody's ever watched his Hall of Fame speech on YouTube, you will see that Penny Marshall was actually working on a documentary before she died. I think all the filming and everything was wrapped up, so they're in post-production, and it still will be released. And Penny Marshall's a pretty big name. She definitely is she was a fantastic director, producer. So I know that she did it right. So I think they're working on it to try to finish it up and get it out. But I think once that happens, his cards are going to go even higher than they did during The Last Dance. That's just my opinion. Take it for what it's worth. But my gut says that's what's going to happen. I have some Panini VIP cards that were released at the National Card Conventions, I believe. So this is 2018. These are numbered out of 99. And I got a couple more of these. I have others, but these came in. This one here I think is really, pretty much perfect condition. This one here has some marks on it, which I think it'll probably be a 9 or something like that. But I think overall they should grade pretty well. And they're numbered. And I don't know why these are so cheap. I think it's maybe just because it was a small release at the National Convention, or whatever the case may be, but they're numbered, and I've been picking some of these up. No, not just Rodman, but other players. I bought these together from the same seller. They came with film on them, and I pulled the film off, and these things are perfect. So Topps Finest Masters inserts. This is from, what year are these from? I think it was 2008 or something like that. Can't seem to find the year on here. Well, the year's buried in here somewhere. I can't even see it very well, but Topps Finest. Really nice looking cards, especially when you get that shimmer off of them. So, got these. I got another Rodman Force. I pulled the film off again. It looks like it's really, really good condition. From what I can tell, all of these cards are cut this way, so it might not be off-centered at all. That it might just be the way it's supposed to be, because I have never seen this word Force been centered in this card from what I can see on eBay. But it's a sick card. You know, definitely just a typical Rodman, like, you know, rebounding stance after he secures it. It's great. This is the Topps Finest as well. I think it came out probably the same year as the Masters card did. Got another Bowman's Best Honor Roll refractor in. This one is in really good condition. It's centered really, really well. You can tell by the little lines down here and the top corners. Again, just love the color combinations on here, and Arvidas on the back, which is centered pretty damn well as well too. So this one might grade out pretty well, like almost a 10, if not a 9.5 or something. Thinking SGC with these, just because that black border around here will really make it pop, I think. Another Rodman Topps Finest. This one's numbered to 199, and this is a 2008 Topps Finest refractor, blue. I have a red one and I have a green one coming too, so to kind of complete like the little rainbow there. I couldn't pass up on that on this card. It looks so much better in person. That outline around him just pops right off the card. It looks great. Picked up this one. I think I paid $4 for it. This one's numbered to 299. This is another Panini VIP or a Panini National Convention card that was released in 2018. Pretty good condition as well. I think it'll get a 10 or a 9 for sure. And then I picked up this one. And the reason why is because Upper Deck has a lawsuit against Panini regarding Michael Jordan being in the background on this card. I believe there's other versions of this where they black out the background more so you can't tell it's him. But I saw a news article on this. I think somebody might have posted it on Sports Card Investors page on Facebook. And I looked at it and I'm like, man, I better just pick one of those up just to, you know, be on the safe side in case all of a sudden these things spike in value. So the only one I could find that was graded was this one on eBay at the time, and it's a 7. But man, it looks, I don't know why it's a 7. It looks super good. Might be a couple little dings up here or something I made it that way, but I think it looks great. But I picked it up. Who knows? Maybe I'll get lucky. I think I paid, you know, 20 some bucks for this card or something like that, but you know, it's already in a case. It's good to go. And there's Michael in the background. And speaking of Michael, here's some cards I got of his. I picked up this Topps Chrome when he was with the Wizards. I don't have a lot of Wizards cards, but this one did really just caught my eye with the color and the sheen to it. I think it's a really good looking card. Signature Jordan, you know, dunk really well centered. I don't really see anything wrong with it at all. I think it's going to grade out really, really well. I picked up this Topps Chrome 1998 card. I was watching the House of Jordans on YouTube, and one of them picked this card up mainly because it's so hard to grade and find in a really high PSA grade. So I saw this on eBay. I picked it up. I thought it looked really, really good on the auction. Well, it was for buy it now, and I sent in an offer. I think he had it listed for $120. I sent in an offer. He sent it right back, countered for $80, and told me that he just listed it, so he's got to get at least $80 for it. So I snagged it immediately just because of how well it's centered. The print is off just a hair. You know, it could be shifted this way a little bit because you can kind of see a thicker outline there when it starts to come down. But after I got it out of the top loader, you know, there's a little dent, pin dent on the top corner here, right by the edge. I don't know if you can see it, right there. And then there was a piece of something on here that I was able to wipe off for the most part, but it still left kind of a little mark in the finish. And then also you can kind of see it here. There's a little, like, it's not really a crease, but it's a little tiny, like, area where looks like it got bent over. You know, it's not a crease or anything, but there's a little bit of a bend in it. And I'm sure that's going to downgrade it. But overall, it looks really, really good. I love the picture on this thing. You know, you don't have many cards that have Jordan from behind. You know, I mean, this is a pretty sick looking picture, and another reason why I got it is because I just love the photo. It looks great. The back looks good, got a little bit of a white spot here in the corner, but otherwise it's really well centered. I think it looks great. It'll look really cool in a slab. And I got some starting lineups. I got these three from somebody on eBay. I think I paid $60 for all three of them. This one looks pretty good. It's off-centered a little bit, but for the most part, all the corners look really sharp and clean. I don't see a whole lot of white showing, if anything. You can tell by the back it's off-centered this way a little bit, but for the most part, it looks pretty good. It'll probably get a 9. 8 for sure. So this is a 1988 starting lineup card. This is the 1990. These things came in the same pack with the figure. The centering on this is a little bit off, but for the most part it looks really, really good. The back looks nice. This one here looks a little softer on the corners a little bit, but the color's good and everything. I think it'll probably get, you know, an 8 or a 9. But I'm sending all these starting lineup cards in for the Grade the GOAT special that's going on at PSA. I know I might not get them back for a long time, but it's a pretty good deal considering you can get you know, your Jordan submitted even if they're, you know, for $500 value and under for only $10 a card. So it might be better than the actual just bulk submission if you're doing it by yourself, if you have a membership. I got a Shaq Bowman's Best Honor Roll, and on the back is Alonzo Mourning. I don't have, this is the first Shaq one I got. It's an 8, BGS 8. So all the subgrades look really good, except for the surface is a 7. So there's probably some marks on the surface. You can't tell through the case at all, but I don't know. Another, you know, really nice looking card, and I think Shaq's cards are extremely undervalued for how awesome he was as a player, Hall of Famer, and also, you know, he's still in the game doing commentary with Charles Barkley and Ernie Johnson and those guys. So really sweet looking card. Then I got a stack of Giannis here. So here's a Panini National. This is out of 50. It's got some surface issues, so a 9, 8 maybe, but I don't want to throw it in a case, a top loader, and not get it graded. I think it looks really cool regardless. So here's a select Giannis from 2018, 2019. I think it's got a couple little surface issues on it, so I think it's going to get a 9. But it's really well centered. Great picture. I bought some Giannis mosaic lot from somebody. It had, I think, 5 or 6 cards in it here. So these are the base. Again, it had little minor surface issues, so I don't think it'll get a 10, but I think it'll get a 9. Everything else looks really good. That's the back of them. Here's the MVP insert in that set. That's this year's Mosaic, 2019-2020. And there's a couple He Got games in there. These look like they're perfect condition. So did this one here. So I think these will get 10s if I ever get them graded. And then I got the base card as a parallel. Looks really good, really good. I'm a huge Giannis fan. I live in Wisconsin. I'm a Bucks fan, so I've been hoarding all kinds of Giannis cards. Not my intention to get them all graded and flip them right now. I think I'm just gonna keep holding on to them and self-grading and keeping them in their card savers for later, down the road here. But this is definitely long-term hold stuff for these Giannis cards for me. This is a Revolution Giannis. Looks great. Really good condition. Got lucky. I've been really lucky with the condition of the cards I've been buying off of eBay lately. I got these 3 from ComC. Again, these are the Panini National. These came out 2019. And these are the Prizm, just the base. Yeah, they're not numbered, but I just love the look of them. So got 3 of these, perfect condition, perfectly centered for the most part. Right to left a little bit, but I think they're good enough. Couple more, 2 more of the Blue Velocities Optic from 2019-20 this year. I just love the picture, love the blue backgrounds. I got quite a few of these now. I think I probably got close to 10 of these. But again, they're so cheap. I don't know why they're so cheap, but because they look so good. And then the last card here is the 2016 Prizm base. I think it's really good condition. The centering is almost spot on. It's a little bit off, but I think it's good enough to pass the eye test to get a 10. Just because the back is perfect. There's no white showing on the edges or anything. So did pretty good. So that's it for this mail day. Next week we'll do another one. I think weekly is probably good enough. Again, please subscribe to the channel and like the content. Hit that bell. Really appreciate it. The more subscribers I get, the more content I'm willing to put out. Just because have a lot of fun with it, and hope you guys do too. So see you on the next one.